The United States Declaration of Independence from British rule in 1776 states that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is a basic human right. That statement has changed the way that we look at happiness all across the United States and probably the world. We believe that the best way to get some sort of satisfaction out of life is to pursue this thing called happiness. It turns out that's the wrong approach entirely. So we're going to be talking about that in more detail, and I'll also be providing a hopefulness activation, which will raise your vibration, your emotional vibration, to that of hope rather than a lower vibrational frequency, which probably led you to watch this video today. So let's get started. I think the big surprise for many people is that happiness is not something outside of yourself that you have to find. Happiness is a skill. When we know it's a skill, we can finally start to generate it for ourselves. When we believe that it's outside of ourselves and that it is not within reach, then we are operating under a system or an experience of lack, deficiency, and scarcity. And when you're doing that, you're doing the opposite of all the best manifestation techniques. And manifestation techniques say to operate as though you already have the thing that you want. We humans survive from desires. We desire to pursue pleasure and we desire to avoid pain. And it drives us through our entire lives unless we become aware of it. When we realize that we're just moving from one desire to the next, we can finally start to decide if that's what we want to do for the rest of our lives. We can easily get caught up in pursuing small pleasurable moments. These are moments like receiving a like or a comment on a social media post. These create a dopamine release, which is an addictive experience. You get one, you want another one, you want another one. That's why so many people are addicted to social media. They can't get themselves off of their phones because they're looking for that very simple pleasure. But that simple pleasure is so far away from an overall state of happiness that we shouldn't be doing it anymore. We should tear ourselves away from that experience and move into a greater, more purposeful experience for ourselves. How about following your passions? Will that work? Maybe, but we often say, when I have enough money, then I'll go ahead and get married and have kids. When I finally sold this house or bought my house or gotten the right job or saved enough money, then I'll finally do the thing that I really want to do. As you can see, we're terrible at predicting what makes us happy. We follow these primitive desires, or we place unreasonable conditions that prevent us from achieving our goals. In those situations, you aren't pursuing happiness, you're delaying it. And if you're not careful, you'll delay it for the rest of your life. So what should you do? The first thing you need to do is recognize and realize that you are just pursuing temporary pleasures and you're avoiding temporary pain. You have to realize that you have everything that you need inside of you, and pursuing something external to you to try to create satisfaction does not work. If it did, all the sports teams that won their very first championship, all the players would instantly be on the podium receiving the award, and they would all say simultaneously, I retire. I'm done. I've had everything that I need. I am now complete. I am now satisfied. I can go for the rest of my life doing absolutely nothing because I am absolutely satiated. But that never happens, does it? They always go, gotta get the next one, gotta get the next one. They're on the endless treadmill of dissatisfaction. They will never get there unless they turn inward and decide that they can actually achieve satisfaction, happiness, and completeness inside of themselves. Because we humans cannot be satisfied by external accomplishments or physical objects. Cars, houses, Super Bowl rings. The only people that you have ever seen that are truly happy are those who have committed to developing their happiness skill. And you'll often see that from those who spend much of their time meditating or being surrounded by people that they love. family, friends, relationships from people that they can trust, that are reliable, who make them a priority and that they make a priority is another area of deep satisfaction and happiness. There's another really good and important way, and that is to pursue your excitement, to pursue your passions. Not because you're trying to get to a particular goal, but because the pursuit, the journey, the experience itself is satisfying to you. That's how I am in all the things that I've done throughout my life. Yes, I've had an end goal, but at the same time, I've always known that the experience itself is way more satisfying than that end goal. Right now, I am pursuing helping as many people as I possibly can. Yes, it would be great if I could actually help them, and of course I usually do, but it isn't that important, the end result. I don't need to help 500 people a month and have them experience this or experience that. All I have to do is put myself out there and love the journey of taking people from maybe a miserable experience to an extremely positive, ecstatic one. A lot of times I have people come to me and say that they don't really know what their passion is. And this is what I say to them. Take a moment and imagine that you had all the money that you would need to create or do anything you want to do. Imagine you have all the skills you need. Imagine you have a team of people who are very specifically skilled at doing what it is, anything that you want. What would you create with that? What would you do and have no limitations to your imagination here? Just allow your creativity to show you what your desires truly are. And when you do that, you might discover that the thing that you want to do isn't that far out of reach. Maybe it is, and maybe it's this giant plan that you have, but you can always step all the way back to the first one. What's the first step? What's the first thing that you would need to do in order to create all of that? Even if you didn't have all those resources. Maybe there's a class that you would have to take, or maybe you would create a website. There would be some first step, or reach out to a friend that you believe that would be very interested in doing this thing with you. And when you do that, you tell the universe, hey, this is what I want to do. And you will be amazed at how much the universe will turn to try to help you and conspire to make your dreams and your journey possible. Beyond that, there's many, many things that you can do to improve your happiness skill. There's probably hours and hours worth of these, but here's a few that I like and hopefully will help you. Engage in a gratitude practice. This is a higher vibrational emotional experience which will pull you out of your depths and up higher on the emotional frequency chart, which is huge, and it's fairly easy to do. There's so many things to be grateful for. When you really sit down to do it, you'll discover how many things are amazing in this paradise world. I also have some videos on these topics which will help. Letting go of guilt and regret. Handling your negative emotions. Overcoming resentment, apathy, and loneliness. A big way is by improving self-talk. If you spend a lot of your time having negative thoughts about yourself and the world, then you're going to have negative feelings about yourself and the world. Thoughts create emotions. So if you were to use some of that gratitude practice, for instance, and look at yourself and the world for what you're grateful for about it, then that positive momentum can really carry you far. Be generous. Be generous with your thoughts and your time. You can help others by guiding them. Don't be afraid to do this, and this will help you see your own worth and value as well. Build your close relationships with your friends, with your family. To be even more loving, show them what you think about them. Tell them how you feel about them. Look back and observe your past happiness. What made you happy from a day-to-day basis? What made you happy over the last 10 years? This can provide clues to help you understand yourself and what it is that you actually truly want, what your excitements are, what your passions are. Act the way that you want to feel. If you want to feel more excited, act it. If you want to be more loving, act more loving. When you take those actions, your body kind of says, wait a minute, we're being loving and we're being excited. Which emotions do we need to use to bolster this? Oh, we need to use excitement. Okay, let's give them some excitement. Oh, they're being more loving. Okay, oh yeah, we can pull out the heart center and the heart chakra and we can make that more loving. Yeah! And for a Wayne Dyer quote, peace is the result of retraining your mind to process life as it is rather than as you think it should be. This is, of course, a commentary on expectation. If you carry heavy expectations into your life and think that things should all go a certain way, then when they don't, what are you going to feel? You're going to feel frustrated. You're going to feel betrayed. You're going to feel the victim. Whatever it is, it's not going to be a positive emotion. But if you move into it and say, everything that happens is actually kind of amazing, it's actually a miracle, I'm just glad I get to be here to see it all, then you're going to be moving into a happier state of mind. You're going to experience a much better experience here on this earth as you, the perfect being that you are. Unhappiness comes from so many different reasons. It can come from childhood traumas. It can come from adulthood traumas. It can come from an abusive relationship that you're currently in. It can come from negative entity attachments. It can come from so many different things. And that's why I actually teach a class that's 7 weeks, 14 hours, covering all the possibilities of what might be bringing you down and filling you full of activations and energy work to help bolster your experience, to help bolster your energetic signature on the world, and then coupling that with tools and techniques to help you change your mindset vibration and have a better and happier life. If you'd like to know more about those classes, I'll post the link in the description below. So what does research say is the best approach to happiness? There's an incredible study that's been going on for 75 years. It started in 1938 with 740 men. They followed them throughout their lives to discover what it was that truly made them happy, that truly made them satisfied. And what did they find? You won't be surprised at this at all. They didn't find that it was wealth or that it was fame, but instead it was simply having close relationships with family. Every opportunity throughout your life to include the people that matter to you the most, the people that you can depend on, the people that can depend on you. When you spend time with them and when you depend on them and help them, that is where true satisfaction comes from. So you always have people like that in your life, whether they be friends or family or a romantic partner. Those people are the ones that you should put your emphasis and your focus on for the best possible life outcome. At this time, I'd like to go ahead and provide a hopefulness activation. This will raise your vibration, your emotional vibration, to the one of hopefulness if you are lowered in your negative emotional experience right now. So to do this, just simply close your eyes and take a nice big deep breath and relax as you exhale. You can take a couple of these nice big deep breaths and feel the temperature of the room on your skin. Feel your body against the chair or the bed that you're sitting or laying in. Allow gravity to pull your body deep into that chair or to that bed. Feel yourself grounding with the earth. Hopefulness is a beautiful spark of an emotion. I want you to be hopeful that you're going to improve your happiness skill, that you're going to experience what it is inside you that you need to experience in order to have a more fulfilled, a more happy, a more excited life. The way my activations work is I simply say, breath in. You take a nice big deep breath, hold it at the top, and then I say the word awaken. This word will be somewhat loud, so don't be surprised if it startles you a little. I'm sorry that it has to be that way, but that's just the way it works. I want you to picture yourself standing on the beach. The sun is warm and shining in your face. You've got your arms wide in a pose of acceptance for the unlimited energy of the universe coming to you through our star. You can feel the cool breeze on your face, the sand between your toes, and you can hear the waves crashing against the shore. Breath in. Awaken. Good. I'd like for you to go ahead and feel the sensation at the bottoms of your feet. Notice where your tongue is in your mouth. And when you're ready, to take another look at the world, to take another look at yourself, and to see yourself as a blossoming flower that has found the sun after the rainfall, that is excited and hopeful and willing to take the next step to develop your happiness skill and become the person that you have always been meant to become, and become the person that you've buried deep inside all this time. When you're ready for all of this, then you can open your eyes. Thank you so much for participating in that activation. It means the world to me that you watch my videos, and hopefully you'll turn and watch a bunch more, because there are so many more that help you with these sorts of issues. And using activations to help you on the energy side, as well as tips and tricks and tools to help you on the left brain or the logical mind side. And when you combine both of those things together, you have the best chance of success. If you just do one and not the other, it's not quite the same. So thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe, click on the bell icon, and watch some more, because they are all here for one reason, and that is to help you. I love you unconditionally, and I'll see you on the next video.